All right, so I'm going to be honest. I got a little lazy and I used AI to write an entire launch for me. And that copy happened to make $87,000 in a single week. And I was like, there's no way that this actually works. And then I tried it again with one of my new clients on Black Friday. And that Black Friday copy happened to make $35,000 in a single day. And I was like, no. I hate all these AI softwares. They suck. They're not actually better than me. I just kept that same belief. But when I show you what I'm about to show you in this video, this AI tool is completely different than any AI tool that I've ever seen before. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm literally going to show you pages of copy that you would not be able to tell that an AI wrote it. I've spent thousands on courses, mentorships, and programs, and I've tried every AI tool software, and nothing comes close to this. What I'm about to show you in this video, I think will completely replace 99% of copywriters who can only write emails. I mean, think about it. What's stopping a business owner from taking all of your emails, feeding it into an AI, and replacing you with a $19 a month subscription? So lock in, because this could be the video that either makes you rich in 2025 or it'll replace you. It's just like that. So let's get right into this. Here, this is Poppy AI right here. Okay, you can see that this is an AI tool that helps content creators, copywriters, and marketers. And people watching this video like me, right? I write content, I write all different types of copy, and this shit right here is insane. And what I will tell you is, like, this software, you can even tell right here, this software is nothing like ChatGPT. It is nothing like Claude. It is nothing like this BS Google Gemini. It's not like that. It is completely different. It is actually built for marketers. It's built for copywriters. It's built for content creators, right? That's why it's so good, right? Because for the first time ever, you can actually visualize what you're doing here, right? You can seemingly take everything, right? Like just the intro that I just wrote, right? And you're still watching this video right now. This whole entire intro that you just watched was written by this AI right here, okay? It's absolutely insane. So in this video, I'm going to show you how this whole thing works, but let's get into this first. So the first thing here that we want to get into is, how much does this actually cost? Now, this software actually does cost a lot of money. I'll be honest. Like, it goes all the way up to $1,000, $500. Like, that's insane, right? There's no monthly option, but I made a deal with the founder. I was like, dog, like, this is probably way too expensive for normal people to afford. So let's do this, right? So if you use code Brady right here, you can get $25 off Poppy AI. And they've made it to where if you do $299, right, and then you divide that by 12, right, you're going to get $24 per month, right? When you use this software, how this software actually works, right, is you get all of the different AI models right here. ChatGPT cost like $25 a month for the premium version, and they just came out with a $200 a month version. Claude costs like the same thing, I'm pretty sure. So in this, you get both of these things for the subscription price of like $24. And when you buy the yearly price, they only have yearly, right? You get the whole thing for the year. So it's absolutely insane, the deal that you're getting here for the actual software you're getting, right? So let's get into this. What is so special about this software? Why does it cost so much money? Why is it so special, right? It costs that much because it was actually built for copywriters like me and you, right? Like, I'll show you exactly how I wrote this video. It's absolutely insane, right? So I took my voice. This is the cool thing about it. So you can seemingly go to YouTube, right? And for example, for me, I specifically work with content creators, and that's why this is so sick for me. So I can go to any YouTuber, right? And I can go to, like, for example, Mr. Beast, right? Mr. Beast, boom. And I can take his videos and I can tell the software, hey, I want you to use Mr. Beast's voice to write just like Mr. Beast. And with all the other AI softwares, it's extremely difficult to get the transcript and train the AI model. But the most important part about this is you get to treat it like a brain, right? The most important part of copywriting in general is actually like this is the most important part about copywriting. Okay, the most important part about copywriting is actually the way you think about copywriting, right? You have all these things in your brain, you can extrapolate those points. And if you're new to copywriting, that's why it's probably difficult for you to write copy in the first place, because you haven't written enough copy, you haven't done enough stuff to be able to grab some stuff from over here and think about this over here and think about that over there, right? And then you're taking all of these things and you're putting it into one thing. You're putting it into one like writing flow where it's like, oh, what if we put this here? What if we put that there, right? But when you set up the AI, right, when to look like this or something like that, when you set up all these different data points, right, you seemingly have an AI that can essentially just think of all of those things for you. And another thing about this too is like, as a copywriter myself, I'm extremely lazy. Like I absolutely like don't like to work. I love working 2 to 3 hours a day so I can go play video games or ride a dirt bike or do some other fun stuff. Like I'm going skiing on Monday, right? Like I don't want to sit here in front of my computer screen all day writing copy for hours. Like no one wants to do that. And then once you get past the 2-hour mark, you're not writing good copy in the first place. But how I'm using AI, right, is I'm setting it up to where it thinks about everything. And then when I give it ideas, right, which is the most important part, is the ideas in your head right here, right, it seemingly just writes everything for you. Now, I'm not saying this is a clear-cut solution for you to completely replace like your copywriting daily efforts. Like you still have to think. You have to be able to have really good ideas. But this distills it down to where the best people in the space, right, will be able to write really good copy with AI because of the quality of their ideas, right? You can go on a walk, or you can go skiing, or you can go ride a dirt bike, or you can play video games, and then you can go to the shower and get an insane idea and be like, hey, AI, what if we wrote this? Like, write this for me and write it like that. And then boom, it's all done for you. That's the cool part about this, is it can do the actual heavy lifting part for you. It can't do the ideation part for you. Don't think of it. I hate when people try to use AI to like get ideas. And sure, it's okay to get writing ideas from the AI, but you need to use this almost as like a employee that's working for you. That's the biggest like mindset thing I want to get away from this before I get into the whole software nitty gritty, because people are going to be like, oh, like what about this? What about this? Like, no, like you need to set it up properly. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second here. And then you need to set it up where you feed it very good, genuine ideas. And that's how you write really good copy with this. Okay, I've written so much copy with this, and here I'll show you like right over here. If I pop over to this, right, and then I go over here, boom, over here, you can see this whole entire script right here was actually written by Poppy, right? It's actually insane. Like this whole entire thing. And if you actually go through this, and this was posted on my YouTube channel, it's my 10-hour free course. Like if you go watch this intro over here, this is my best example of copywriting live with AI, right? This intro is actually insane. And I spent $5,000 on the intro specifically with editing and help with it to make sure it looks magnificent, right? And it was all written with AI, right? So how do we actually set up the AI to think like us? So I'm just going to use me as an example because I've been writing content a lot with it. So the first thing you want to do with it is set up the voice, right? So I work with content creators. So the best thing I like about this is the voice, and you can put it into a little folder called My Voice. So you take a group, right? And then you could name these groups, like here, I'll name it. And then you can simply like copy and paste videos into this folder, right? So I've already done that and I've already put that together. So we have that, right? And then the next point is I like to use either previous stuff, right? Like I have previous stuff, like I have that whole entire intro script that I just showed you, like that 10-hour script I used right here because right there, that was my best example of really good copy for what I wanted to do for this intro, right? And I used my boy Jason. I'm going to show you how you can essentially steal other people's copy like without stealing, right? So I have all of my points in here. And if you watch that intro, I would suggest you don't even need to watch the 10-hour course. Like the 10-hour course is fucking awesome. And I'm going to show you some other stuff that's in that 10-hour course, but the intro of that 10-hour course is amazing. And it just hits every single pain point. And I did so much research and I dumped so much into that it's like damn near perfect. Okay. So I have this, but the longer version of what that actually is something like this. So I'm going to show you actually on this 10-hour course is if I come back here and I go in here, right? So in this 10-hour course, I actually put together these points, right? And I used all of these points right down here. So here are the 8 things that you want to feed the AI, okay? You want to feed it the voice. The voice is the first thing, right? The story is the next thing. Okay. So I basically wrote a whole entire like story and I put it into this script, and it's like embedded in this script already, right? And then I have like some of here's what my outline looked like, by the way. Look at this. Explain, boom, 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 boom. It's actually insane. Like, here's another outline, boom. Here's all the audience stuff. I put some results in here. Like, there's a lot of stuff in here, and it's a lot of actual like here's the prevailing sentiment. Like what people are saying in the space. Get paid to write 3K a month emails, right? Get paid 3K a month, write a few emails a week. Like, that's not happening anymore after we use AI, right? Like, you can see here that I put a bunch of data into it. And then basically when you actually get an output from that data, right? This is me refining the AI, right? You could take the actual script, and then that's the most refined version of that data. And you can still use that. I can still refer back to that data. I could be like, okay, here's the data, and I put it all in this little folder right here, boom, and I can always connect it to the chat. So when you have data, you connect it to the chat. It's like boom, connect, boom, connect, boom, connect. And now the chat can actually see it, right? And if it's not connected, the chat can't see it. So you can create a whole giant board for one of your clients, and you can connect it to the board, and the board will be able to read it in no time. Okay. And you could refer to it, and I'll show you the prompts that I used for the intro of this video that you're watching right now in a second. Right. So let me take that off. Okay. So I took my previous intro script, right? And then I fed it some data of an outline. Okay. So basically here was my outline for this. I'll show you just like this. I probably would write in like Cortex or Google Docs for this, by the way, because it's not the best to write in here, but it is good to put the text box. So over the last 4 years, I made millions with copywriting at 21 years old. AI is insane. I just had some points. These were my ideas, but I'm not going to just tell you that's not what you need. I'm going to show you exactly step by step what I did. I'm going to show you. So lock in, because this could be the video that actually changes everything for you. That's what you literally just heard me say earlier, right? And then I have my boy Jason that he's actually one of my students, and he wrote a video for this right here, and he actually wrote it with Poppy AI. So I was like, hey Poppy, actually let's use the intro of this video, right? So the number one thing you need is voice, right? And then the next thing you need is an outline. It needs actual context, right, to work with. You can't just write something without like real context. Like, it's going to be stupid. It's going to come up with random stuff and just give you BS, right? But what I have here is I have context of like bullets, right? So like the general idea of what I want the intro script to flow like, right? And then I have my previous intro, right, where it has all the data from like, here's all my results, and here's like my arguments, and here's my prevailing sentiment, and here's all the result case studies, like and here's like how I talk about AI and stuff like that. And then we have the structure of Jason's video. This will help 99% of beginners watching this video. So once you have your ideas, you can fill it with a structure, right? And it can read the structure of what this video is. Now we have the 4 things. So it's my voice, right? Now it's extremely unique because it's my voice, it's my arguments and my data, right? The 8 data points from right here. So it's like, let me finish doing that. So story, problems the actual audience is struggling with, right? The solution to those problems, like how are we actually solving that problem? Like for me, it's AI copywriting and copywriting in general, right? Goals, like you guys want to make money, obviously. The prevailing sentiment is like most people in the copywriting space are completely ignoring AI, and that's bad, because why would you do that when you could just have a machine write for you? Right? What are other people saying in the space? Common advice and wisdom, right? Main arguments, like why is your solution actually better than everyone else's? And then what's your proof behind that statement? Those are like the main pillars of like data you want to give it. And that's all in this intro script right here. Okay. So then we have our outline, right? The outline is like kind of writing right here. And I just like fed it. Those are my ideas that I'm feeding the actual software. That's the manual work that you actually have to do. And then we have the structure of the actual writing that we're doing, right? Because it can't write if there's no structure. And then we're going into prompting, right? So by now you actually understand how to feed the AI ideas. And this is what makes Poppy better than any AI software out there, because you can map out a bunch of different stuff. And the more you build up your board, I have a bunch of other boards in there that are like absolute, I'm not going to show them, but they're like massive. Like there's a bunch of stuff all over the place and stuff like that, right? And I'll probably make videos in the future on how to like, just like, I could even make like a template for this. So let me know in the comments if you actually want me to make you just like a template where you could just fill it out, kind of like I have in my 10-hour course, but I'll just like show you how I would fill out the template for you. So basically you see how to fill out the whole entire brain, if you will. The next part is prompting, right? Because if you get really good at prompting and really specific with the prompting, this is where you turn the chat into like an employee. And by the way, how to get one of these is you just drag the AI chat like right here, or you click AI, and then you can connect things to the AI. And you can have multiple like AIs in here. Another thing too is if you go to my 10-hour course, what you can also do is, this is something that I actually like to do, is you can download a copy of this. It's in the AI description. It's in the description of my 10-hour course, right? You could download a copy of this, and then you can come over here and you can click like document and files, and then you can go to 10-hour free course, right? And then it has this PDF, and it could read this entire PDF. So I can also tell it to, I already kind of have my own copywriting principles, but you could take my copywriting principles and then you can put copywriting principles over here. So you can add principles to this as well, right? So instead of understanding this stuff yourself, you could be like, use the principles. You could be like, use the principles in copywriting principles. You could be like, use the principles in this little folder right here, right? And this works really well when you're writing emails, because basically if you come down here, right, it'll help you craft a special offer because you have the promise, the value stack, discounted price, risk removal. You have all this stuff. I'm not getting deep into this stuff because this is literally just like I'm showing you the tool and how to use the tool. But like there's a whole 10-hour course on all this stuff. But like basically I have like frameworks in here where you could write pre-launch emails, launch open, objection handle, dramatic demonstration, social proof, risk removal. And then I don't just like, this isn't the basic explanation of this. I also go pretty deep on the actual video of me explaining that, right? So we could take this and connect it, and we could be like, hey, actually use these principles of copywriting and make sure to stay within these principles, right? Something that I like to do with my prompts, which I'll get into in a second here, is authority. I like to include this. So make this extremely persuasive by including psychological principles like authority, likeness, commitment, consistency, social proof, reciprocity, and scarcity. If you're a marketer or you're a copywriter that actually does this stuff, you'll know that those are like the 6 things that if you use those cognitive biases, people will automatically just listen to you. So you can see right here, right, that, let me see, boom, 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 right? So my prompt here was write me a 60 to 90 second YouTube intro script using the exact structure of Jason's intro, but personalize it for me using my exact arguments from my previous intro scripts where you see fit. Where you see fit is an extremely important example here, because if you give it too much stuff to use, like this is a big ass script, like it'll try to use the entire thing. But if you kind of boil it down to where you see fit, it'll only put in like good points and pieces right there, right? So where you see fit. And then I said, make sure this is an extremely important bar right here, especially if you're writing for a creator or yourself, make sure to use my exact voice, and it will actually sound like the person in the video, right? Make this extremely persuasive, right? So I'm basically prompting that. And then I got this, and I didn't really like it. I was rewrite this using the exact structure of Jason's intro. I've been doing this, boom, 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 make this shorter. Okay. And then I was like, you know what? This is kind of trash, but I'll use parts of it. And then basically what I did is I took that and I was like, okay, let me actually like put this in here and make it a little bit better. So I took basically what it gave me, and I restructured it a little bit. And I said, here's the version of the script. Like, here's my version, right? Use the chat above and to suggest edits to make this more persuasive. And then it gave me some good ideas. Like, hey, I talk about the client that you made. It wasn't 50K. It was actually 35K, right? But it basically just got that wrong. And it's just trying to like put suggestions in here. And it's like, here's some rewritten version. And it's like, here's to amplify this, right? Promise live demonstration, added specific threat, right? Made mistakes like, threat of being replaced by a $19 a month subscription. That was actually the AI's idea to include, right? Which is really good. And then what the script like ended up coming out to be, right, is right here is, okay, so a few months ago I used AI to write, so a few months ago I used AI to write copy that made me $87,494 in a single week. And I literally just helped somebody else write copy, show you how you made $32,000 on Black Friday. Honestly, when ChatGPT, so it sounds exactly like me. It has the exact flow of how I speak because it's trained on my voice, right? And that right there is the same way I actually wrote that entire script to that 10-hour course using Poppy, right? This is actually insane if you know how to use this. And if you really, like, it takes a long time to do it, but if you really go through here and you add all this stuff, like for example, this is probably the most important thing and will help you a ton watching this video. So let me see, boom, weaponize AI. So the biggest thing here that I would point out is if you can take the problems and like the problems of the audience, and like, for example, you can send out like a form to the audience and grab like a bunch of data points, and then you can grab like a CSV file of the responses from that form. And the responses could be something like, oh, I really need help with this, or what's your biggest question about X, right? And then they're going to ask all these questions, and then basically the AI can see all of those questions, and it can essentially just handle all of those objections, right? It's extremely cool, right? So now you understand how to use Poppy AI. I highly recommend using it. Like, don't just ignore AI and seemingly keep going on about your life and like writing copy like a caveman. Like, actually genuinely try to use it. Right? Like, genuinely try to use it. Like, it took me a while to actually like figure out how to use it because I was just playing around. And honestly, the first time that I ever used it, I was literally just like lazy, right? So be a little bit lazy. Try to optimize it so you can be lazy, right? I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.